Every community has a street where nothing ever seems to happen, a place where neighbors greet one another, where children play, where families quietly build the future they've always dreamed of. Bedford is one of England's oldest market towns, peaceful, diverse, a place that thousands of families from around the world now proudly call home. Among them was one Zimbabwean family. Like so many who began a new life in Britain, they had worked hard to build a future. A future filled with opportunity and hope. Friends remember Nothabo Zandile Tshuma as a devoted mother and a dedicated professional. Her daughters were remembered as bright, joyful, and deeply loved. For the outside, they appear to have everything, but behind doors of one family home, police allege a tragedy had already unfolded, a tragedy that will trigger an investigation stretching from the United Kingdom to Zimbabwe and ultimately South Africa. For many immigrant families, success is not measured by wealth. It is measured by safety, stability, a home to call your own, good schools for your children, a chance to build a better future than the one you left behind. Great Denham is one of Bedford's newest residential communities. Quiet streets, green spaces, modern family homes, the kind of neighborhood where parents imagine watching their children grow. Every morning, families walked these paths. Children loved in neighborhood parks. Life moved at its usual pace. No one could have imagined that one home would soon become the focus of an international murder investigation. To her neighbors, it was simply another family home. To one family, it was everything. Like many who have made Britain their home, they appear to have built a life filled with promise. Friends speak of this kindness, of ambition, of love for family.
Most patient, demure person that she was. I think if there's anything that we remember of her, it's just how affectionate she was. She was a naturally private person, but there was something in which she had this warmth and this compassion that really drew you in. That's who she was. She was a successful woman. She was really driven and she was motivated to be a successful Black woman. And I think she really worked hard to get to that stage.
Those memories would soon become all that remained. On Tuesday, the 8th July 2026, what began as an ordinary morning would soon become one of Bedfordshire's most heartbreaking crime scenes. After growing concern from people close to the family, Bedfordshire Police were asked to carry out a welfare check at the family's home. There was no answer. Officers forced entry into the property. Inside, they discovered the bodies of Nothabo Zandile Tshuma and her two daughters. Natalie, 15-year-old, and Nala, 5-year-old. Police immediately launched a triple murder investigation. Post-mortem examinations later concluded that all three had died from blunt force injuries. As detectives began securing the scene, another question quickly emerged. Where was the husband? Police established that he had traveled through Heathrow Airport and already left Britain before the welfare check took place. Because he had departed before the investigation began, no alert had yet been placed on his journey.
We have been working around the clock with national and international law enforcement agencies to secure the necessary documentation for his arrest. And on Thursday evening, the Crown Prosecution Service authorised 3 charges for murder. I can now confirm that today, police in South Africa located and arrested Mark Tshuma. He is currently in custody at a police station in South Africa, and we are working to bring him back to the UK.
Investigators believed he had travelled first to Zimbabwe. The reach had now crossed international borders. Investigators later established that he had travelled onward to South Africa, working alongside Interpol and British authorities. The South African police services launched efforts to locate him. He was arrested in Johannesburg, and later that day he appeared before the Kensington Magistrate Court in Johannesburg.
Today sends a very powerful message that there is no place to hide for fugitives wanted for serious crimes in South Africa. The South African Police Service has successfully located and arrested Ndodana Mkhanyisi Tshuma, also known as Mark Tshuma, who is wanted by authorities in the United Kingdom in connection with the murder of his wife, Nothabo Zandile Tshuma, 42 years old, his 2 daughters, 15-year-old Natalie, as well as a 5-year-old Nala.
The verification of the legal status of the UK fugitive and alleged murderer has led to the postponement of his 2 matters until next week. And Ndodana Tshuma made his first court appearance at the Johannesburg Magistrates Court today on a case of possession of an unlicensed firearm and in a separate courtroom for extradition. Tshuma is wanted for the murder of his wife and 2 children when he was nabbed in Johannesburg last week, Friday.
The international search was over, but for one family, there would be no journey home. A mother, a daughter, a little girl, 3 lives remembered by those who loved them.
Just want to wake up from the nightmare. 3 lives have been robbed from us. We can't believe anyone would do that to any human. All we are asking is justice, and we pray that the police will do their best.
For detectives, the investigation continues. For prosecutors, the legal process now takes its course. And for the courts, the facts will ultimately be tested through the justice system. At the time this documentary was produced, extraction proceedings remained ongoing. The accused has been charged but is presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty in a court of law. Long after the headlines disappear, this street will remain. The neighbors will return to their daily lives. Children will once again play in nearby parks, and Bedford will continue to be home to families who came here searching for hope, just as this family once did. This is not simply the story of investigation. It is the story of dreams built through hard work, of lives that touched the community. And of a family whose memory deserves to be defined not by tragedy, but by the love they shared. If this story has affected you, take a moment today to check in on someone you love. Sometimes the smallest conversation can make the biggest difference.